Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Lazy Man's Way to Make Coffee. I'm Alfred drinking coffee, and today I'm going to walk you through how to make the perfect and easiest Turkish coffee. Now it's really important to note that Turkish coffee is probably the strongest way you'll ever make coffee. It's really high in caffeine, really concentrated, and if you're caffeine sensitive, or if you're drinking this really late, you're probably going to stay awake, you're probably not going to be able to sleep, so just be wary of that. Now, to get started and make this coffee, what you're gonna need is one of these. These are called sebzes, and you can get this at any local Mediterranean shop, or you can buy it on Amazon. So just make sure you grab one of these before, because you'll need this to make the coffee. The next thing you'll need is the coffee. Now, this is specific Turkish coffee, which I was lucky enough to get from Egypt, which has cardamom in it, and it smells absolutely amazing. But if you don't have access to this, or you couldn't find it at the local Mediterranean shop, just grab yourself your favorite espresso blend, but make sure you grind it super fine. Like, I'm talking finer than you would for an espresso blend, because you're gonna need it to be very fine so that it can brew properly in the sebze. So, make sure you have the perfect espresso, perfect coffee for you. Next, you'll need a cup. As you can see, it's a very small cup. This is a traditional Turkish coffee glass, but grab yourself an espresso shot or whatever you want, and just make sure that it's ready to go, because once this is ready to brew, you're gonna wanna pour it right away. So just have it prepared next to you. Now, without further ado, let's make some Turkish coffee. So what you're gonna wanna do is grab 2 solid tablespoons and just pour them into the sebze, just like that. And the next step is just adding a little bit of water into the sebze. And you're not gonna wanna fill it up, because what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna boil over on the stove. So just fill it up with 3/4 of it being full. Then just stir it up a bit to make sure that there's no chunks in the Turkish coffee. And now you're ready to throw it on the stove. So the next step is obviously throwing it on the stove. You're gonna wanna have the heat to be between low to medium, depending on your stovetop. So I like to have it at medium just because it makes it a little bit quicker, but if you wanna take your time with it, go ahead, put it on low, let it brew a little bit. It'll end up being a little bit stronger. But all you're gonna wanna do is leave it on there until the top right here boils over, or starts to boil over. And then you're gonna take it off the heat. This is, let's call a pro tip. It's really important to have the handle on the outside not being touched or being close to the stovetop. And the reason for that is when you actually go to take it off, you don't want to burn your hand when you're taking it off. So just make sure that you have it far away from the heat source so that it's nice and safe for you. Now it's been about like 5 to 10 minutes, and you're gonna wanna start to take it off now that you see that it's boiling over. Now, all that's left is for you to pour it in. Just like that. You got a little bit of crema on top, and it is perfect, ready to go. Now, if you really want sugar in there, you can always, while you're mixing in the ground coffee, you can mix in some sugar in there before brewing it. So, that's all you need, a perfect Turkish coffee. And there you have it. Perfect Turkish coffee every single time. Like I said before, it takes a little bit of time to prep, but when it's done, it is well worth the wait. Now, all I ask of you is to go subscribe, like, comment, but most importantly, go out, enjoy yourself a great cup of Turkish coffee, because you know I will.